Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of correlation and regression, we will be considering the price development for the major USD currency crosses, and also on the equity side, we will be mainly concerned with the US equity indices, the US equity indices futures, and we will see how things are shaping up to figure out the trading opportunities as we are gearing up for the start of the North American trading session. So let us now head to the JForex 4, the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. This is the NZD chart. Let's consider first the price action for Euro USD, and afterwards we will consider the developments in other major currency crosses like AUD, NZD, GBP, JPY, CAD, and not to forget the Swiss franc. Here, looking at the Euro USD chart, you can get a sense that the range for today's trading session for the Euro USD has been fairly narrow. It is just slightly over 30 pips. So this is not representative of how things have been for last couple of sessions, or even you can say couple of weeks. We have been used to much more volatility, but in comparison to that, the volatility is less in today's trading session, and things are not going either way. Things are simply in a consolidation phase with these momentum being contained in these narrow range, with support coming into play on the lower sides, just slightly above 1.06 range, and on the higher side the price is struggling. The resistance is there around the price levels of 1.066. Now if we consider the medium term perspective, the things are not really much different on that side as well. Here the momentum for the Euro USD has been sideways. If we look at this price of formation with this immediate swing low being slightly higher compared to the prior swing low, we can make a case that this time around we are fairly likely to see the price levels of 1.07 being reached in coming sessions. So that possibility is quite strong. And if we have to get ready for exploiting the situation, I think the buy on dips is going to be a good strategy to work around, to work with. And for that, we have to keep looking for the opportunities whenever we see the Euro USD around the support levels and stabilizing on the lower side. If we look at the price action for today's trading session, the dollar has been dominant, but not so dominant against the euro. Euro is a outlier of sort, whereas for other major currencies like NZD, AUD, GBP, etc., the dollar has been on the gainer side. We have seen most of the other currencies retreating against the dollar, but Euro USD has been able to hold its ground, and here we have it making a fresh day's high. So that is something unique for the euro. Whereas in case of other major currencies, the things are not looking this stable, this bullish, and I think for any trade to be taken in today's trading session, the theme is as of now of dollar strength, and we will do well to keep looking for the opportunities to buy dollar. But euro is not one such currency against which you should be buying the dollar. Euro is rather strong. Whereas if we look at other major currencies, we do have the currencies like AUD, NZD, etc., which are on the bearish footing. So in those currencies, it will be a better idea to buy the US dollar and short this. If we look at the AUD USD swing low, and in course of time it can be even expected to decline further. If we look at this price formation, the things are not that bearish. Here we had this range defined for the AUD USD on the medium time. Hey, ITX. Yeah, we will look at the Euro AUD as well. If we look at this AUD USD, we have this range prevalent for the AUDUSD with this range of around 1 percentage point, and on the lower side the AUDUSD has been finding support, and this time around also it is reverting back just slightly above this immediate swing low, so that makes it an interesting case. But instead of looking to buy at the moment, we will do better to wait it out and allow it more time. Maybe by the time we have the start of the Asian trading session, things are likely to be much more stable, and we can take a fresh look at the developments and think about the new trading opportunities. Now, if we have to go back to Euro AUD, let's see how Euro AUD is shaping up. Since AUD has been one of the most bearish currency and Euro has been one of the most bullish currency against the US dollar in today's trading session, we can be expecting the Euro AUD to be in such a formation where we can keep looking for the buying trade. We can buy the Euro against the AUD, and I think that will be a good combination to work with. Let's consider the medium term charting first. So here the formation has been of higher highs and higher lows. Right now the Euro AUD is trading closer to its immediate swing high, and if we look at its prior price formation, it has plateaued after having climbed to this 1.59 range, and in today's trading session it has climbed up sharply. As I said earlier also, the euro is one of the strongest currency in today's trading session. It has been able to hold the ground against the US dollar, whereas for other major currencies the US dollar has been dominating the proceedings. So that makes the euro AUD one of the obvious contender for buy on dips trade. Now if we have to keep an eye on some of the levels, I think the immediate swing low is going to be important here. And as we are witnessing a fresh reversal from these levels, which are above this prior swing low, we will have to go with the flow and keep the buy on dips approach. Even now, I think it is likely to work well. We can expect the Euro AUD to see a fresh swing high in coming hours, so that possibility is quite strong. And if we look at its price formation since the start of the day, earlier in the day here, it was trading with these bullish buyers, and at the start of European trading session, it started to climb up with these gains of around 70 to 80 pips. So that's a significant rise for the Euro AUD, and we have these currencies like AUD, NZD, GBP even, which are trading slightly on the weaker side compared to the euro. So the same trade is likely to hold in case of currencies like euro and ZD as well. It's taking some time. Yeah, here the formation is fairly similar to the euro AUD. There is not much of a difference between these two currency formations, as we have the bearish tendency prevalent in the NZD. It is depreciating against the euro, and if we look at it from the medium term perspective, the things are going to be on the similar side. Though we saw a fresh swing high formation for the euro AUD, that is not the case for the euro NZD. It is still far off from these prior swing high. So that is something I think we are likely to see in coming sessions. So this week, the euro is likely to retain its bullish undertone, and we can keep looking for the buy on dips trades in the euro NZD. Just is like the way formation is for euro AUD as well. Now let's revert back to the dollar currency crosses. We saw the AUDUSD formation. Now consider NZDUSD. NZDUSD is having a similar charting formation just like AUDUSD. There is not much of a difference for the NZD. Now here, if we have to keep a eye on the trading opportunities, the same thing is going to hold well for the NZD as well. Now the question is whether the AUD is more bearish or the NZD is more bearish. Of course, the euro is the least bearish of all the major currencies we have seen so far. That leaves the field open for the comparison between AUD and NZD, which are not having that different price formation. For the AUD, the immediate swing high came in just a while back. For the NZD, it is nearly the similar formation. Let's consider the timeline. So we have NZD trading slightly more bullish as its immediate swing high came in earlier than the AUD swing high. So that puts it ahead of the AUD. So we have the AUD as the most bearish. NZD is following it closely, and then we have the least bearish currency in the form of euro. Let's consider GBP as well. For GBP, the things are looking much more bearish, even in comparison to the AUD and NZD. For the GBPUSD, this today's trading session has been a lot bearish. It declined almost 50 points, 50 pips from the highest point of this swing high to the day's low, which is made below 1.20 level. Now, after making this high, it wasn't really able to sustain those gains. It went on to give up all those gains and continue to decline close to this prior swing low. So that puts it on the bearish side. We have to keep looking for short selling opportunities in the GBP instead of going for a long trade. For the long trade, we have the obvious choice in Euro, which is much better placed. Now we will have to invert the scales and consider the price formations of USD CAD, USD CHF, and USD JPY. USD CAD, here the dollar is dominating the proceedings as well. For the USD CAD, we saw this immediate swing high formation, then this correction, and again the climb towards immediate swing high. So the price formation of the USD CAD is in line with the price formation of GBPUSD. CAD is also looking a lot more bearish in comparison to the other major currencies like AUD, NZD, and Euro. It is having the price formation which is similar to the GBP. So we have these two choices of trades in today's trading session. You can either go for a short sell trade in the GBPUSD, or you can go for a buy trade in the USD CAD. Both of these are same one and the same trade. There is not much of a difference in the timeline of these swing high and swing low formation. So that puts it on the similar footing. But of course, we can expect the volatility to be more for the USD CAD in comparison to the GBP USD, particularly after the start of North American trading session, as both the major markets of United States and Canada will be opening soon. So that is likely to make the USD CAD much more volatile in comparison to the GBP USD. Let's consider the Swiss franc USD CHF. USD CHF, here there was strong move in the CHF. On the appreciation side, it gained almost half a percentage point, but it wasn't really able to sustain those gains. And here we saw the USD CHF again rising toward this prior swing high, though this time around the swing high has been lower than the prior swing high. So that keeps the CHF on the bullish footing in trading against the US dollar, but it is not exactly strong in comparison. We have the Euro USD, which is having a much stronger momentum, much better formation. So, for any trade in which you expect the US dollar to weaken further, then we have the Euro USD shaping up like a good opportunity. Of course, you can wait it out and allow for some correction, some consolidation, and then maybe think about getting involved for a new trade. And in that context, it is of course better placed in comparison to the USD which can be considered as the currency in between these majorly bullish and bearish currencies trading against the US dollar. Let's consider USDJPY. USDJPY was climbing up and up till it also gave up on those prior bullish momentum and went on to decline 40 more than 40 pips. Right now it is trading closer to the immediate swing low, and this swing low being higher than the prior swing low makes it a interesting case because we have this formation of higher highs and higher lows that puts it on the stronger side. We have to go with these opportunities and see how things are there, how things are shaping up. And in that context, I think it will be a better idea to go with this flow and keep looking for buying the dollar. But in that context, we do have to keep in mind that we have the currencies like GBP and CAD, which are looking much more bearish, and we have the currencies like CHF and Euro, which are looking much more bullish. So, on either side, whether you are expecting the US dollar to strengthen or US dollar to weaken, there is not a currency cross which is providing that much clarity. We have much more clarity in other major currencies. So, keeping that in mind, I think it will be better to overlook the USD JPY and concentrate our attention where the opportunity is looking a lot more optimum. Now let's turn our gaze to the equity segment and see how things are unfolding for the equity futures. The Dow Jones Industrial Average charts, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500. For Dow Jones, the momentum seems to be shifting from sideways to the bullish. It will be interesting to see how things unfold after the start of the US trading session as the volatility is going to peak up. Now, if we look at the current price formation, the day has been spent consolidating closer to these 5 days closing low highs, and that is an interesting situation. Even now, the undertone is fairly bullish. So, for any short term to medium term, any trade to be taken is, of course, going to be favorably placed for the long side. But we do have to be cautious on these higher levels. We are much more likely to see a consolidation phase in today's trading session. If we see sustained break above 33,470, then that's a different scenario. If we see the price stabilizing, holding around those levels, then we will have to go with the flow and go for a buy on dips trade. Else, I think we are likely to see the Dow Jones Industrial Average consolidating in this range with these resistance coming into play around 33,500, and on the lower side the range can be expected to hold around 33,300. We are not really likely to see much sharp price action in today's trading session. Of course anything can happen, that's why I said pay attention to the price action as the things get close to 33,500, and if on those levels we see some stabilization, some holding pattern, then of course we can go for the short sale trade also. But the undertone has to be kept in mind that it is bullish, and that is going to offer you slight advantage if you are adopting a buy on dips trade. But nonetheless, given these higher levels have already been reached, we can even do go for a scalping kind of trading technique, trading strategy. Now we have to see if the S&P 500 is trading on the bullish side, or if we have the better opportunities for us in S&P 500 and Nasdaq. For the S&P 500, the correction has been shallower in comparison to the correction we are observing for the S&P 5 Dow Jones Industrial Average. So that puts it much more bullish in comparison to the Dow Jones. So watch out for these price action for next couple of candle periods on these lower time frame charting, and if we don't really see any substantial decline on the lower side, I think we can indeed go for a buy trade anywhere closer to these 12,350 levels, with the expectations of the climb in these equity indices to continue. In today's trading session, the price levels of around 12,200 on the lower side, no, sorry, 12,300 on the lower side is going to be important. And if we see the price holding above those levels, then we can be confident of the buy on dips trade. Else, we will have to go with the flow and see how we can adopt a scalping strategy to these equity indices, in which we have the most bullish momentum prevalent for the Nasdaq, followed closely by S&P 500, and then the Dow is looking like a least bearish equity index. So for short selling trades, you can go for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and for any long trade, the Nasdaq is going to be a much more favorable choice. So that's my take looking at the current price formation for these equity indices of the United States. So consider these price developments, and also after the start of the USA trading session, we will have much more clarity looking at the immediate price formation. So you can then make your mind and go for the trading opportunities emerging in the US session. Thank you all for joining in. Have a